Pope Francis died on April 21st, 2025. He was 88 years old. The Pope passed away in Casa Santa Marta, his Vatican City residence. The cause of death was a stroke and cardiac arrest. His passing followed a prolonged period of declining health. Pope Francis had battled pneumonia earlier in the year. He also managed pre-existing conditions like hypertension and diabetes. Cardinal Kevin Farrell, the Vatican Camerlengo, officially announced the Pope's death. The news of Pope Francis's death reverberated around the world. It was a moment of profound sadness for Catholics. It also marked a significant moment in global affairs. World leaders immediately expressed their condolences. Tributes poured in from presidents, prime ministers, and monarchs. They all recognized the Pope's commitment to peace and justice. The Vatican City went into mourning. Bells tolled across Rome. Crowds began to gather in St. Peter's Square. Mourners sought solace in shared grief and prayer. Cardinal Mauro Gambetti led a rosary prayer. It offered comfort and guidance in the face of loss. The atmosphere was heavy with sorrow. However, it was also tinged with gratitude for the Pope's life and teachings. The passing of Pope Francis marked the end of an era. He was a transformative figure in the Catholic Church. His papacy was characterized by humility, compassion, and a deep concern for the marginalized. Now the Church and the world looked ahead. The focus shifted to honoring his legacy and navigating the process of selecting a new spiritual leader. The world mourned the passing of Pope Francis. Global leaders offered condolences and tributes. US President Donald Trump, Russian President Vladimir Putin, and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed their sympathies. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and Britain's King Charles also paid their respects. Argentine President Javier Milei, recognizing their shared heritage, declared 7 days of mourning. Brazil followed suit, honoring the Pope's impact on Latin America. The Vatican City prepared for a grand farewell. The funeral arrangements reflected the Pope's own wishes for simplicity. However, the scale of the event remained significant. It was a papal funeral, a centuries-old tradition steeped in ritual and solemnity. A period of 9 days of mourning was declared. This period, known as, allowed for global reflection and preparation for the funeral. The Pope's body lay in state in St. Peter's Basilica. This allowed the public to pay their respects. Millions were expected to file past the Pope's coffin. They came to offer a final prayer and goodbye. The First General Congregation of Cardinals convened on Tuesday. This gathering finalized the funeral plans and set the date for the ceremony. The funeral itself was expected to be a global event. Dignitaries from around the world would be in attendance. The ceremony would be broadcast live, allowing millions to participate virtually. The funeral would be a testament to the global reach of the Catholic Church. It would also underscore the profound impact of Pope Francis's papacy. Jorge Mario Bergoglio, born in 1936, became Pope Francis in 2013. He was the first Latin American pope. His election signaled a new era for the Catholic Church. Pope Francis was known for his humility and his focus on the poor. He championed the cause of migrants and refugees. He advocated for environmental protection. His papacy was marked by a commitment to social justice and interfaith dialogue. Pope Francis sought to modernize the Church. He addressed controversial issues like clerical sexual abuse and financial corruption. He pushed for greater inclusivity, welcoming LGBTQ+ individuals and divorced Catholics. His efforts to reform the Vatican bureaucracy faced internal resistance. However, his impact on the Church's direction was undeniable. Pope Francis's papacy was characterized by his powerful messages of compassion. He urged the world to embrace mercy and forgiveness. He emphasized the importance of dialogue and understanding. His words resonated far beyond the walls of the Vatican. He became a global moral authority, a voice of conscience in a turbulent world. His legacy will be debated for years to come. Some praised his progressive views. Others criticized his perceived departure from tradition. However, there is no doubt that Pope Francis left an indelible mark on the Catholic Church. He shifted the focus towards the peripheries, both geographically and spiritually. He reminded the world of the Church's commitment to social justice. His papacy will be remembered for its emphasis on compassion, humility, and a profound love for the poor and marginalized. The death of a pope triggers a period of transition for the Catholic Church. The process of selecting a new leader, known as a conclave, is shrouded in tradition and secrecy. Cardinals from around the world will converge on the Vatican. They will seclude themselves within the Sistine Chapel. Their task is to elect a successor to Pope Francis. The conclave is expected to begin within 15 to 20 days of the Pope's death. Around 135 cardinals under the age of 80 are eligible to vote. The process involves rounds of secret ballots. A two-thirds majority is required to elect a new pope. The conclave continues until a new pope is chosen. The election of a new pope is a moment of great anticipation. The world watches for signs of who the cardinals will choose. The selection of a new pope is not merely a religious event, it has geopolitical implications as well. The Pope is a global figure, a head of state and a moral leader. The conclave will likely be influenced by the legacy of Pope Francis. Cardinals will grapple with his reforms and his vision for the Church. The outcome of the conclave will determine the future direction of the Catholic Church. It remains to be seen who will inherit the mantle of leadership. However, one thing is certain, the Catholic Church faces a pivotal moment in its history.